Hi, Trey. This is Steve Holliday from Central Illinois, and I'm just wondering if you think Joe Biden will drop out of the 2024 race.
President Biden's approval numbers continue to be low, and polling has the president struggling to beat former President Trump in some swing states. Biden also loses to former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. That said, I do not believe President Biden will drop out of the race. History is not replete with instances of people leaving before they had to. I do not see a sitting president dropping out of his reelection bid absent some catastrophic health issue. And to be fair, people thought President Biden would be a drag on the races last fall, and Democrats overperformed. And then more recently, in early November of this year, the same thing happened. Joining us now is Biden surrogate Kevin Walling. Welcome, Kevin. We'll start right at the top. Will Joe Biden be the Democrat nominee despite the advice from David Axelrod and others?
Hey, Trey. Good evening. Good to be with you. The president is going to be the nominee in 2024. He's coalesced the party behind him. He's going to run a strong campaign that's already active. He will absolutely be our nominee and our standard bearer come next November.
All right, Kevin, I believe you, but I'm going to play you a montage from arguably the most reliable and loyal Democrat constituency of all, which would be the media. So I want you to listen to this montage, and then I'm going to ask you a question on the other side.
Well, as many voters are concerned, President Biden's age is no laughing matter, especially as he seeks re-election next year.
A 5-alarm fire, a cardiac case in need of a defibrillator, a slow march into the sea to drown. That is how 2024 is being described by Democratic strategists who are worried Joe Biden can't do what he did in 2020.
But when it comes to his age, it's not about what he says, but what he doesn't say, trying to pivot to other issues.
They don't need to be told that, the president has an age problem.
All right, so you've got some of the leading lights, if that's the right phrase, on the Democrat side. You've got some polling which suggests the president is trailing the former president in many swing states. What do you make of that? What would you say to Democrat, if there are any Democrats watching, what would you say to them to say, quit worrying this far out?
Well, listen, Democrats, Trey, to your point, love to, kind of wet the bed, throw up their hands, say all is lost. When you just said in the intro, we overperformed in the midterms. First time in a long time that the Democrats, the president's party actually increased their share of Senate seats. We held Republicans to just a 5-seat majority in the House, and that's even gotten closer since 2022. So listen, the president is going to campaign hard. He's going to bring the message to the American people. We're going to spend billions of dollars on both sides framing this election, reminding folks of the last 4 years with the Trump administration, with all the kind of disasters that had at play then. And again, I think the president at the end of the day is going to be successful, because I look at the guy who won last go round by 8 million more votes. That's my guy to win this time.
All right. I want you to engage in a hypothetical with me. Like we're in court, you're an expert, and I can ask you a hypothetical. If President Biden called you tonight and said, hey, Kevin.
I'm scared with you. You're a longtime solicitor. I'm a little worried about that, Trey.
I'm rusty. I'm rusty. Trust me. You'll do just fine. If President Biden called you and said, hey, Kevin, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I wanted you to be among the first to know, look, I've had a great run. I'm not going to do it again. Who would you say would run if he did not, and who would be the likely nominee? Who is the next heir apparent in your judgment?
Listen, Democrats have a great bench. We've got a lot of great governors, that could step up and perform, whether it be Gretchen Whitmer, Gavin Newsom, Josh Shapiro. We've got a great vice president who would run hard, who's already running a race for president, run a national campaign. So, I think the Democrats are well positioned for 2028 after the second term of the Biden administration.
All right. Before I let you go, there's this trend of propping up the most extreme candidate in primaries, and both sides do it. Republicans prop up the most extreme Democrat. Democrats prop up. Do you think that it's kind of a high-stakes game of general election poker? Do you see that trend continuing in 2024 next fall?
Yeah, sadly I do. And to your point, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And we get more extreme people in Washington. I think, you know, you spent many years in Washington, work across party lines, building relationships. We need more of that. You know, you could stick to your guns, be conservative, be liberal, but don't be extreme. So I worry sometimes when we meddle on the other side and the same with them.
Kevin Walling, thank you so much for joining us on Thanksgiving weekend. Hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. And if President Biden does call you, you let us know, okay?
You got it, Trey.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.